Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Poppers, and we're getting into yet another playoff matchup. We have our second playoff matchup between the Big 12 Cardinals and the MAC Ravens. I'm actually kind of excited for this game. So hear me out. The MAC has always looked good on offense. But it's never quite translated into actually being good on offense. If you look at last year's game, you can't watch 2 years ago game because I just did that for me. But they didn't do well offensively 2 years ago. They didn't do well offensively last year. And I think a large part of that was the Ravens scheme. And they still have that Ravens scheme, which makes me a little bit less. See, if I was going to rank my like confidence in upsets, I would actually put the American Steelers at the second most confident. I have the Big 12 Cardinals at the third most confident. And it just isn't very confident at all. But if you're a Mountain West Saints fan, I'd just like to point out right off the bat, you're a huge fan of the MAC. Because I understand it's not likely, but in the unlikely case that we get all upsets in this playoffs, except for the Mountain West would draw the Pac-12, which would be so much better than drawing the SEC. The Big Ten. But if you're going to... I don't want to play the Big Ten, honestly. Right off the bat, going to the Titans Stadium would suck. But here we go. Sam Cock to kick it off. I think Tyler Lockett's the return man. Oh, wait, nope. Yeah, I think it is Tyler Lockett. I'm not positive, but I think it is. Yeah, 88. It's going to be Tyler Lockett's number for this game. And here comes Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes... They played a play-in game. They did. They played a play-in game against the FCS Division II, Division III Bills. And I got to say, offense didn't impress me in that game. You know what did impress me? The defense. And I think I'll get to that a little bit later when the defense finally steps onto the field. But Mahomes has to play better. I have to say this right off the bat. Just like Josh Allen in the Mountain West, he has to play better if they expect to beat the Big Ten in the next matchup, if they draw the Big Ten, which is the likely scenario, or maybe the ACC, they have to play better. Mahomes has to play better if they really want to compete for a championship this year. But Mahomes lines up shotgun with, looks like Mixon behind him for the run. They hand it off to him, and he ends up being gang tackled. But a lot of Khalil Mack, you can see the speed off the edge, and really, the defense doesn't have a lot to hang their hat on except for Khalil Mack. There's a lot of question marks at a lot of the other positions. Corners doesn't suck with Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jimmie Ward. But linebacker's pretty bad, and then you have defensive tackles horrible. So Mahomes goes shotgun here again. Looks like another handoff to Mixon, and they do go handoff Mixon. And Mixon almost picks up the first down. Just short of that first down marker, 3rd and 1. Nice tackle by Darius Phillips. And it brings up an interesting 3rd and 1. If the defense could get a stop here, that'd be huge. I don't expect them to stop them many times this game just because of how great Mahomes is. Mahomes has yet to throw a pass, by the way. So that's interesting. Well, actually, no, I'm right. So Mahomes goes shotgun here. He throws a nice pass, nice bullet pass on the slant. First pass again for Mahomes to Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard was not huge in that playoff game, in the playing game against the Bills, the FCS Division II, Division III Bills, which is going to make for an interesting playoff matchup because it's going to be in Buffalo, so we're going to get probably going to get some snow weather. Maybe we get some snow. It's going to be fun, but Sterling Shepard was not big. Tyler Lockett made a lot of big catches. Mark Andrews made a lot of big catches, but Sterling Shepard did not. So Mahomes goes shotgun here again, but with the running back lined up right behind him. And Joe Mixon gets a big hole and picks up a first down. And man, you can see why I'm very hesitant about trusting the MAC defense to stop anyone, and it's because of this. It just seems easy. You know what I mean? They haven't faced any sort of resistance whatsoever. Like there was that one run where he was tackled quickly, only for a 3-yard gain. But you can see it's been rather easy for this Big 12 offense to just drive down this field so far. Now, maybe it can change. Maybe Khalil Mack can get some pressure. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. To be fair, the Big 12 don't have the best receiving threats with Tyler Lockett being their best player. So Mahomes goes shotgun. He scrambles out. He throws it. He's forced to throw it short because of Khalil Mack pressure. Mixon bounces off a tackle and picks up about 4 yards on the play. So that was a good play by Mahomes, but at least they showed a little bit of resistance there. It was a nice bouncing off a tackle by Mixon as well. But Khalil Mack, he's going to need to do that a lot this game if they want to win, because Khalil Mack has got to be the dominant pass rusher we know him to be. So they show blitz, but they backed out of it at the last moment. It looks like Mark Andrews picks up that first down. He does, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They faced 1 third down so far, and I don't even know if anyone thought they weren't going to get it. It's been pretty simple for this team driving down the field. Khalil Mack's the only one that's going to be able to provide any pressure at all. Now, he's a very good pass rusher, but they really have no one else. Max Crosby might be able to do it, but he's matching up against a pretty good offensive tackle. So Mahomes scrambled out. He gets about 12 yards on the rush. And it's been easy. I don't know how else to say it. The Big 12 defense, I know we're not expecting a lot out of them. But I'm excited to see the Big 12 defense hit the field, because if the defense can play as well as it did in the playing game, and it played extremely well in the playing game, then this team and this offense can step it up. This team can be a Super Bowl contender. It really can. The defense has always been the thing that let them down, and if they can have actually a good defense this year, it's going to be interesting. So Mahomes goes shotgun here. He takes the snap. He scans the field, goes quickly to Mark Andrews, who's tackled at the 13-yard line for about a 7-yard gain. And again, I'm really, if the back wants to win this game, I know I'm talking a lot about bad things about their defense. Their offense is very exciting. You can see on the field Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Roosevelt Nix. There's also Kenny Golladay, Kareem Hunt, Julian Edelman, Corey Davis. The offense is stacked. Not to mention you have Brandon Brooks protecting Big Ben. But 2nd and 3, go back to this Big 12 offense. Mahomes goes empty set here. I think this is going to be likely another Mark Andrews play. Just going to say it. Mahomes has a blitz, but he dumps it off short to, I think that's Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown? No, Sterling Shepard again. I'm sorry. I'm not used to Shepard's number. I'm used to 88 for Tyler Lockett because he got a whole bunch of passes in the playing game. Sterling Shepard really wasn't much of a factor at all in the playing game. So Mahomes goes shotgun here again. It doesn't seem like they're going to do any standard pass formations from what I've seen. Mahomes gets sacked. Khalil Mack, and that's what you don't want if you're the Cardinals' offense, is Khalil Mack to get that little superstar X-Factor ability, because then I think he's unstoppable. He's an unstoppable, absolute winner of a player. If he gets that little X-Factor going, it's going to be scary for Mahomes. He looks like he got a pretty good shot there on the ribs. You could even see him like screaming a little bit in the animation. He's like, ah! Oh. But 2nd and goal here at the 12-yard line. That's a good sack by Khalil Mack. The defense has corners, I think, are pretty solid. So I think you're going to have to go after the linebacker matchup against Mark Andrews, which I think will work out wonders for them. Mahomes has a lot of time to just sit back there and scan. He decides to scramble, but he slides at the 8-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and goal. And if they can force a field goal here, I believe it's about as close as a win that you're going to get if you're the Big 12 Cardinals. And remember, the Mac, they're in a difficult position. They have to go on the road. They dropped a seed this year. Normally, they're the 10 seed. They were the 10 seed for 2 straight years. But they ended up dropping a seed with Conference USA getting better and them getting significantly worse. So they draw the Big 12 for the first time. So let's see how they do. 3rd and goal. The Mac brings a blitz, and he gets pressured, and Khalil Mack forces the incomplete pass, and man, they're going to force a field goal. I didn't think that was possible the way the Big 12 was driving down the field, but Khalil Mack ended up coming in big for this defense. Great pressure by Khalil Mack, getting in there, making him throw the ball straight into Cody Whitehair's helmet, really. But yeah, I was impressed. I was really impressed with what they did on to stop him. So Justin Tucker comes out to kick the field goal. Let's see. It's going to be good. Just knowing Justin Tucker, it's going to be good. It's up. It's good. The Cards take a 3-0 lead. It's not like with the Independents where they have the worst kicker possible because they don't actually have a kicker in the NFL, so I have to make a kicker for them, and it's the worst kicker in the NFL, so it's always a question mark whether they actually can hit the field goal. Justin Tucker's, I think, the best kicker in the NFL, so I don't have a doubt. He made a 64 or 65 yarder. I think he set the record in the play-in game. So I mean, I have a lot of faith in what he's going to be able to do. I believe Kareem Hunt's on the kickoff returns for them. What I try to do with the kickoff returns is put the most explosive player back there. I don't care if he's starting or not. So I think it is Kareem Hunt to return this. So he's tackled at the 26-yard line. And actually, it's Jarius Phillips. I forgot that there actually wasn't Kareem Hunt. It was, weirdly enough, a corner who doesn't really see the field a lot. But Big Ben Roethlisberger, 2019 season stats isn't going to show much because, again, 2019 he got hurt immediately. Last year he was pretty solid. Okay, so a player I'd watch out for that is under a lot of people's radars. Watch out for Tyler Conklin. I know not many people know the name Tyler Conklin, and it's because he's not a great NFL player like Kenny Golladay and Julian Edelman and Antonio Brown. But watch out for Tyler Conklin. The Ravens use a lot of tight ends normally, so the Mac uses Tyler Conklin rather a lot. So, yeah, this is what you're going to get to see a lot of. If you want to see that, it's a lot of fun because the Mac, it's Big Ben. You never see him run a QB draw, but it is in the Ravens offense. So the Ravens offensive playbook has a lot of QB runs because Lamar Jackson is normally their quarterback, but watching Big Ben run is the most beautiful thing ever. So Roosevelt next takes the field. They have a 2 tight end set. They go play action here. He's quickly pressured. He's forced to throw a pass, but to Tyler Conklin is wide open. What'd I say? I mean, watch out for... I literally called it. Like, Tyler Conklin is a huge part of this offense. He just is. And, I mean, they're driving down the field pretty easily, too. I expect a little bit better defense because they did a lot better than this against Jimmy Garoppolo. That was a lucky to get there kind of pass. Tyler Conklin just kind of had to stop and wait for it to come. But, man, I mean, it got there, and they ended up with a huge play down the field to Tyler Conklin. So, eventually they're going to go to run with Kareem Hunt. You got to think. You have to think that. Eventually they're going to do that. But they don't go here. They scan the field. Throws it deep. Oh, and it's a touchdown. The Mac Ravens take the lead with a deep, I believe that's Antonio Brown, touchdown. AB and Big Ben Roethlisberger back at it again. Weirdly enough on their rival, the Ravens, but Big Ben throws an absolute bomb downfield, and Chris Harris Jr. got beat. I bet Xavien Howard's matched up on Kenny Golladay, and the Mac are the first one to get a touchdown, and they take the lead. I don't remember the last time the Mac have had I don't know if they've ever had a lead in a play-in game. So, I think it's Sam Sloman, I think is the kicker in its name for the Mac. So, again, this isn't automatic, but he makes it, so... Again, beautiful drive. That was a beautiful drive. I'm a little bit worried if they go with that QB option, QB draw with Big Ben Roethlisberger too many times. He probably will fumble it or get hurt. And if he gets hurt, by the way, it's all over for the Mac. There's no way they're going to win. It's not like with the Big 12, you're like, oh no, Patrick Mahomes got hurt, but you still have Baker Mayfield to back him up, or like any of the top conferences, you have a pretty good backup. And but if you lose Big Ben Roethlisberger, you're dropping to Cooper Rush, which is not a quarterback many people know. So Sam Cock to kick it off again. Let's see if the Big 12 can do something. Let's see if Tyler Lockett returns this here. He does decide to return it. He runs up the middle. He brings it about to the 26-yard line, about a yard more than he would have gotten if he didn't take it at all. But, man, I was impressed with that Mac offense. I mean, it has not been explosive in past years, and I'm sure anyone who watched it last year can attest to the fact that they played absolutely abysmally. It was really bad against the Independents last year, and their offense was not good. But maybe it's just the fact that the Big 12 defense isn't great. I think the Independents defense is probably better. But that offense looked really solid. The starting drive. Again, this is just the starting drive, so No one knows. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, 2 tight ends set here. Let's see if they go run with Joe Mixon again. They do go run with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon finds a hole, and he picks up about 6 yards. Oh, but Steven Means gets hurt on the play, and that is not good. Oh, no. Sorry, everyone. I got a phone call in the middle of it from my parents. So we're going to get back into this game, which it is a game. I didn't expect it to be this close. I kind of expected a quick 3-and-out by the Ravens offense, maybe a fumble by Big Ben Roethlisberger when they ran that QB draw. I didn't expect the Cardinals to have to settle for a field goal. Thanks a lot to Khalil Mack. Single-handedly, Khalil Mack's playing a great game defensively. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how game's going to work out. It might be closer of a game than a lot of us expected heading into this thing. So, Mahomes goes shotgun here with the running back lined up exactly behind him. They go run here with Joe Mixon, who finds a big hole. He's been really good to start out this game. Really, really good. Like, averaging a little bit under 8 yards a carry? Sign me up. Hand it to him every day of the week. But it's interesting. If Steven Means doesn't come back, now it doesn't matter anything if the MAC doesn't move on. If the MAC ends up losing for the Big 12, it's no big deal. But if Steven Means doesn't come back into the game, it doesn't come back into the game, and the MAC somehow pulls off the upset. Some stuff has to happen. I'll explain it to you after this play. Mahomes goes run here to Khalil Mack, who's quickly tackled. Great play there by 97. But the MAC right now, 2nd and 9 for the MAC. Can everyone stop making so much noise in the background? You all 100% suck. But basically the thing is with the MAC is that if the MAC somehow upsets the Big 12 and they move on, then Steven Means doesn't come back into the game. I got to roll a little die to determine how much time he's going to be out for. And so that determines things on the MAC side of things. So they go right. So Mahomes scrambles out. He finds an opening. He's going to run for a big gain down the sideline. 3 rushes, 33 yards for Mahomes, averaging 11 yards per carry. And the offense on the ground has been very good so far. The offense through the passing attack has not been solid. I recommend everyone that's making noise behind me leave, or they will be immediately injured. So the Big 12's been good offensively here. They've struggled in the red zone, obviously. But they've got to get something going on this drive. Otherwise, the MAC's going to be able to take a bigger lead than it is. And they quickly tackle Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon's had back-to-back unproductive runs, which is hard for me to say because he's been so productive so far. But he had back-to-back unproductive runs, and it brings up a 2nd and 8. Now, I'm not worried just quite yet. 3rd down might be a little bit more interesting. Trayvon Hester has been the player I believe that's come in. Maybe it's Joe Osman for Steven Means. They go quick pass here to, I believe, Danny Amendola. I think he's going to be tackled just short of the 1st down marker, 3rd and 1. I believe it's Danny Amendola. I'm right. He's going to be their slot receiver for this game. If you don't know who Danny Amendola is, actually, it's a lot of fun to watch. I'd go back and watch some of his film. I find it very enjoyable. So they go big set here. They bring a lot of tight ends, 3 tight ends, I believe, 2 wide receivers, and a running back. They go run here, and Joe Mixon fights, and he picks up about 8 yards on yet another big play. And Khalil Mack makes the tackle, yes, but now they're at the 20-yard line. I mean, it's just been really easy on the ground so far. Now, there have been 2 plays where he's gotten stuff, so I give him that, but man, it's been easy every. Is it right? No, I think it's Joe Osman because I think the pass rusher that came in for Steven Means is Joe Osman. Now I'm not positive about that fact, but I believe it was Joe Osman. So, anyways, Mahomes steps onto the field. He goes empty set here, 1st and 10, which is interesting because the running game has been so effective. He goes bullet pass, really. Very nice pass by Mahomes. Get in there to Mark Andrews yet again. He's got to be their playmaker. Honestly, he is their best player on offense other than Mahomes. And Mixon's arguably their second best player, but through the air, it's got to be Mark Andrews. It's got to be a lot of Mark Andrews. A heavy dose of Mark Andrews frequently down the stretch, down by the red zone especially. So Mixon split out wide. He throws it, and that was just easy. I believe that's Sterling Shepard, and it was a walk-in. He's doing a little bit of racquetball. I don't know what the heck that was by Sterling Shepard, but that was easy. I mean, that was probably too easy for the Big 12. Honestly, whenever he's gone to pass it, I don't think he has thrown an incomplete pass yet. I mean, Sterling Shepard was wide the heck open. He was wide open. No one was even close to him. Sterling Shepard's been way more productive, honestly, than in the playing game. The playing game, I think he had like 2 or 3 total catches. So Justin Tucker comes on to kick the extra point. It's going to be good, obviously. Yeah, it's good. Justin Tucker is just so automatic. It's cool. It's fun. It's awesome. Yeah, I was surprised they didn't go to Mark Andrews there because I do believe he is their most explosive player offensively. I think he's one of their better players overall. But going to Sterling Shepard obviously was not a bad idea. Got him wide the heck open. Justin Tucker to kick this one off. And the Big 12 take a 3-point lead, but I'm really interested to see, again, they're getting the ball back. This Big 12 offense is getting the ball back, and if they can't be stopped, it's going to turn into a shootout in Arizona, and I am here for it. So it's a little bit of a short kick, which means it's going to be fielded and returned by Phillips, who's going to push his way up to about the 23-yard line. It doesn't look like he ever touched the ground, but yeah, 23-yard line. It's a little bit shorter than if he had just taken a knee, but why not take it when you're doing that? So Ulysses Gilbert III comes off, and comes Antonio Brown, who had a big play. Those two players right next to him, Tyler Conklin and Antonio Brown, had the big-time plays. Not to mention, again, this offense has yet to give the ball to Kareem Hunt. We've yet to see a pass to Kenny Golladay or Corey Davis or Julian Edelman, for that matter. So a lot of explosive players have yet to see the ball yet. So this is a very exciting opportunity for the Mac. Big Ben Roethlisberger goes shotgun. He hands it off to, I believe, Kareem Hunt, who spins to no avail for only a rush of 4 yards. Now, I think it's going to be interesting because the offensive line for the Mac is not great outside of Brandon Brooks. But if they can get the round game going with Kareem Hunt, this can be a very, very interesting game. Kareem Hunt has got to be going. You can't rely Big Ben Roethlisberger to throw it every down. Big Ben Roethlisberger goes shotgun here. He goes quarterback draw. He gets quickly tackled. Really no gain there. But brings up actually a gain to 2. Deshaun Elliott ends up with that tackle and brings up a 3rd and 4. Interesting 3rd and 4. You don't want to give it back to the Big 12 offense. They just absolutely toasted your defense. Just absolutely owned every single one of them on the other side. You want to kind of keep the ball here for a little bit longer. So they go quick pass. Ooh, that was almost a pick. That was almost a pick there. And they're going to be punting this ball back to this explosive Big 12 offense. And this is not great for the Mac early on. If they don't stop them on defense eventually, I mean, you can't let them score every single time. Otherwise, your offense is going to have to score every time. And they just didn't score. So, I mean, this is kind of the defense I expected, though, from the Big 12. They kind of showed this in the FCS Division II, Division III game. So we get Tyler Lockett with the turn. Quickly tackled, by the way. Nice tackle by the Ravens. And back comes on quarterback Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if a pass has gone to Tyler Lockett yet. He is a really good playmaker for them, so I'm surprised he has not gotten a pass yet. But Sterling Shepard's been way more productive in this game. Same with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon really did nothing on the ground against the FCS Division II, Division III Bills. And Mark Andrews has been weirdly silent, too. Mark Andrews has those 2 catches, but maybe it's 3 catches at this point, but I feel like I expect more. So they bring the 3 tight ends onto the field, 1 wide receiver, and Joe Mixon. Let's see if they go run here, if they're going to do a little trickeration here. They go little sweet pass to Sterling Shepard, but it's broken up by, I believe that's Robert Spillane III. Or actually, it's Khalil. Was it? I thought it wasn't 97. 97 is Khalil Mack's number. Or no, it's 52. That's why. What? I thought it was 97 for some reason. Is that his real life number? Vote now. Patrick Mahomes goes shotgun here. He steps back. He throws it short. A little screen pass to Joe Mixon, who's quickly tackled, by the way, by number 36. Who is? I don't know, because none of these players are very good. Oh, Jaleel Adday. Actually, Jaleel Adday is a pretty solid player. I actually really respect what Jaleel Adday has done for himself in his career. So Mahomes has a 3rd and 5 here. Let's see if they do the same thing that the Big 12 offense did. So they bring a little blitz. They do a screen. Ooh, that could have been a big play, but number 25, is that Sean Murphy-Bunting? It might be Sean Murphy-Bunting, but I'm not positive. It is Cam Lewis. Wow. They're bringing some of these players are players I've never heard of in my life. And I made this team. So, I mean, that was a great tackle, though. I really, that's respect there by that guy, Lewis. He's not going to have, probably not have a big-time game, but big-time play by Lewis. By the way, watch out for that Kwiatkowski guy. Kwiatkowski had an absolute baller of a game against the FCS Division II, Division III Bills. I think he's gonna ball out. So Mack get a chance to return here, but they're quickly stuffed at the 28-yard line. That was Antonio Brown on the punt return. I guess some punt returns. It's Antonio Brown. So Big Ben Roethlisberger gets another chance. I believe they're on the wrong side, guys. Not wrong, 28-yard line. But a minute 29 before this quarter ends, which means the end of this episode. But I think I gotta say, I think a lot of fans have to say, I'm impressed with what the Mac has done so far. I mean, I didn't expect them to come out and play as well as they did. But Big Ben Roethlisberger lines up in a shotgun. This might be a run to Kareem Hunt, possibly. But actually, he decides to throw it, and he throws it short. And Antonio, oh, no, it's not Antonio Brown. Who is that? Oh, it's Corey Davis. Corey Davis with his first catch of the ball game, 1 reception, 5 yards. So, 2nd and 5, minute 26 remaining. So we have a little bit left. We probably could get if the Mac decides to start driving, maybe they can get to midfield before this episode's over. But again, I'll say it again. I'm impressed. If they can get Kareem Hunt going, maybe they have a chance of really pulling off this upset. And maybe we could have our first year where all 4 games are really close. Now, the closest we've gotten is 2 games in the past, but Big Ben Roethlisberger takes a shotgun snap. He goes handoff to Kareem Hunt, who finds a hole and picks up about 3 yards on the ground, brings up a 3rd and 2 offensively. So again, Nick Kwiatkowski with the tackle. And watch out for that Kwiatkowski guy. He had a really good ball game against the FCS Division II, Division III Bills. He absolutely did a great job. So watch out for him. So, and Mike might be going run here, but I think they might go play action, maybe go to Tyler Conklin. I think Tyler Conklin should be the target here. He goes past, but he overshoots Antonio Brown, and it's going to turn into another punt. So after the early 3 possessions for both teams combined, obviously, the first 2 possessions for the Cardinals, and then 1 possession for the Mac. After 2 quick offensive possessions, we're ended up with 3 straight punts. So let's see how Sam Cock does in this one. He punts it. Let's see. A quick tackle. The first guy whiffed, but the second guy was able to come in, stop Tyler Lockett basically as soon as he caught the ball. So it's going to be at the 17-yard line. We're probably going to end up, this is probably going to be one of the last few plays of the quarter for Mahomes in this offense. 32 seconds left. There's not a lot of time. If they run the ball once, they could probably, if they pass it, they might get 3 or 4 more plays in, but if they run it, probably only 1 more play in. So the Mac Ravens defense is going to step up once again. The fact that they forced a punt once is absolutely amazing, especially with the Stephen Means injury, although it's not that much big of a drop-off to Joe Osman. So they go screen here again. It didn't work for the past few times, but this time it works pretty significantly. Gets up to the 25-yard line before running out of bounds. So Joe Mixon has not been productive through the air, but man, has he been productive through the ground. There's Doug Costin. I believe he is one of the... Stephen Means is back on the field, so never mind. Stephen Means, he is back. So no need to worry about the Stephen Means injury, unless that was just a bad animation. So Mahomes has time to scan the field. He throws it short to Mark Andrews, who's able to get off a couple tacklers, but that's going to be the end of the quarter. Hey, everybody, this is GGB. Make sure to tune in for tomorrow's episode, although 7 seconds isn't running off, so it's going to run off as soon as, there it is. But everybody, this is GGB saying adios amigos.